What's going on, Bully fam? We got a beautiful day outside, so I figured I'd bring you guys out with me, and we'll do some more dog breeding questions and answers. What's going on, Bully fam? It's your boy, the educator, the scientist, Mr. Double Muscle Line Bulls, bringing you another episode of Breeders Hacks. So today we're going to be doing more of a, the questions that you guys ask in the comments. Another Q&A episode. It's pretty nice outside. It's a little too hot though. A little too hot right now. I got some of the dogs out. Come here, Mercy. Come here, Mama. See, I got Mercy with me here. She's one of my old-time dogs. She goes everywhere with me. As far as like in the house and everything like that. The thing with Mercy is she has a much longer muzzle, so in 90-degree weather, I mean, I don't keep her outside for too long, but she's all right. With more of the other dogs that have more smashed muzzles, I have them out in the morning, in the evening, because during the day like this, especially when we have a heat wave, it's crazy. So anyway, guys, as you can see, before we get to the questions, I mean, does this look nice or what?
You look good. You look tough.
Shout out to Huff Stuff Customs, my wife's business. She had these made. These are going to be available on the website. We'll see what happens, but yeah, this is pretty cool. I got a few ideas similar to this effect. You know, bullyologist, a person who has expert knowledge of one or more of the bully breeds. Sick. So anyway, guys, I figured, let's go ahead and answer some questions. So let's just get right to it. Let's get started. So, by Donox Crypto, what's good to do with a female that has pyometra? So pyometra is like when they have pus in the uterus. The thing with pyometra is, if you go to the vet, most of the time they're going to tell you actually like 99% of the time they're going to tell you have to fix, you have to spay the dog to get all that pus out and things like that. It's like an infection. There's two types of pyometras. There's an open pyometra and a closed pyometra. When you have an open pyometra, meaning I believe it's like when the cervix hasn't closed, don't quote me on that part, but basically when it's still open, you can treat it. I think you have like a 60-40% chance that you can treat it, but you can treat it. I've seen it treated. Dog is fine perfectly after that. If it does get worse, then you do have to go ahead and go through with the spay and whatnot. And a lot of other breeders don't even know that you can treat an open pyometra. A closed pyometra, I wouldn't even take the chances. Just go ahead. Unfortunately, you may have to. You're gonna have to spay the dog. So it depends on what type of pyometra you have. If you catch it early enough and it's an open pyometra, I've seen plenty of dogs treated and be perfectly fine, go on to have litters and not happen again. So that's really how it goes with pyometra. What you can use to kind of treat that is, if it was me, and I mind you guys, I'm going to start putting a disclaimer in these videos, but I mind you guys, I'm not your vet. Take this up with your vet, things like that. What I've used that I've been successful with is using Baytril, Clavamox, as well as the green juice, the world famous green juice cure I always talk about. So hey, just some food for thought. And hey, I always tell people too, get a second opinion when you go to your vet, because one vet may say to spay, a lot of vets are going to say to spay, but you may find a vet that's willing to work with you. So don't just give up off of one vet's opinion. Just as humans, you may go to a second doctor to get a second opinion. Get a second opinion from a vet. Anyway, Abby Oysam, I think I'm pronouncing it correctly, and they're talking about the neonatal suction machine, the episode we did of that. And they said, how soon do you need to use those if you notice milk in the nostrils? I have a cleft palate puppy. Okay, so they have a cleft palate puppy and they're asking about the neonatal suction machine. To be honest, I have some breeders who do it religiously before and after every feeding. That's just them. If you're dealing with a puppy with a cleft palate, to be honest, after every feeding, I'd probably be suctioning them just to play it safe. That's just me. I would probably use the neonatal suction machine and hit them after every feeding, because with a cleft palate puppy, depending on how severe it is, I mean, I wouldn't take any chances. Let's just put it that way. All right, next question. Zach Vasquez says, when's the relaxin test going to be available on the website? It's available now. If you want to get the relaxin test to confirm pregnancy, it's available now on the website. Next question. Q LeBlue says, metronidazole, aka Flagyl, is also used to treat yeast in humans. Can it be used to treat the same in dogs? To my knowledge, I've never heard of anyone using metronidazole to treat yeast. I could be wrong. Maybe somebody drop a comment down below your experience. But no. If it came down to yeast, what you're going to want to use, in my opinion, is like ketoconazole. Depending on where the yeast is, if it's in the ear, if it's on the skin, whatever. You can also use diluted apple cider vinegar with water and do like scrubs for the dog with that. That's also antifungal and kills yeast. Yeah, I mean, if it was me, I don't think I would experiment and try metronidazole for yeast. But if I found some other studies that verified that, then maybe I would. But no, that definitely wouldn't be my first go-to. Like I said, I would do like a diluted apple cider vinegar, ketoconazole. There's different antifungal soaps and things like that typically have the ketoconazole in it. You can get that from your vet, but the apple cider vinegar diluted works as well. So hopefully that answers your question. Next question is Falcon Egigo. I'm sorry if my pronunciation is wrong. Hey, I'm a dog breeder, not an English teacher.
Not a teacher.
Anyway, usually how much for a pit bull or bully frozen semen? How can I get it on time when my dog is ready? So that's really gonna, I think what he's asking is like how much for frozen semen, I guess, to get shipped or something like that. And that's all gonna vary based off of the stud owner. What does it cost for him to ship it out? Things like that. It varies. I mean, just for shipping the semen, I've seen it anywhere between $300 to $1,000, and that's not including the stud fee. The stud fee alone may be $500 all the way to $5,000. So it's very general. I couldn't give you an exact number. But now if you were going to freeze the dog, same thing. You may need to call a vet, because I've seen that vary from freezing semen a couple $100 all the way up to $1,000+ bucks. I paid, when I froze semen off of my stud, I believe we paid, don't quote me on it, I think we paid maybe like $400 or $500, something like that. Jill Savage says, do you have information on your microscope? I'm not sure what information you would need, but we do have videos on it that show you step by step how to use it. We also do have the semen evaluation kit. The semen evaluation kit is awesome. It's dope because I literally show you step by step how to evaluate semen on a microscope from a reproductive standpoint, as far as how to get sperm counts, morphology, motility, things like that. So if you haven't seen those videos, I would suggest checking out those videos. And if you want to go even further in depth into semen evaluations, then I would say, hey, get the semen evaluation kit. It's it's awesome, and it's a fraction of the cost compared to like an iSperm, where iSperm, yes, it gives you the sperm count and the morphology, motility, and all those things, but it also costs, I think, like $2-3 grand. The semen evaluation kit that we sell, I think it's like $150. So anyway, Sugar, what's up, Sugar?
Hey, Sugar. Hey.
Sugar says, which one would you recommend so they're talking about the, I believe, the amoxicillin and the cephalexin episode. Okay, that's a loaded question. So the inflammation in between the paws, that is an allergy for sure. What I would look at is, the first thing is I would look at the allergy episode that I did, going more into detail. But if you've seen that episode, I would recommend, like, look at what is the food. Maybe it's the food that's triggering the allergy. I don't always like to go straight to antibiotics and medicine, even though, like, I do have a knowledge of them. I don't always go straight to that. I try to do things naturally first. Maybe try to give some MTG oil, try to change the food, see what treats are you giving the dog, see, is it maybe freshly cut grass? For some reason, dogs have allergies to freshly cut grass. Is it an environmental thing that you can move the dog from that particular environment and move into something different? For my dogs, in certain area, I put artificial turf. Hey, I would just, try to narrow it down and see what's triggering the allergy first. Because if it's a food allergy and you keep giving the food, well, all you're going to be really doing is giving medication to suppress the allergy that you could have easily just switched the food. So with that being said, without going too much in detail, I would really say, look at, is it a food allergy? Is it an environmental allergy? Try to experiment at home first with those things. And then, at that point, then you can start trying antibiotics. You can try, I wouldn't so much really use like an amoxicillin or cephalexin. What I would probably go to is, there's also Bravectos for skin mites and things like that. So there's other things that you can do. Like Cytopoint has been working pretty good for people. It's a shot you give every month, and it keeps their allergies down. But like I said, try yourself first before you go that route. That's just my opinion. And I wouldn't use an amoxicillin or a cephalexin. I'd probably use something more geared towards allergies. All right, so next question. Osborne says, where can I get the test strips? I'm not sure which test strips he's talking about, but hey, we got all the test strips. BreedersHacks.com. You can go there. Next question. Nightfire243 says, can I use ketoconazole or Nizoral cream if it's also antifungal? Yes, you can. That's exactly what I was talking about with another question. Ketoconazole is great. You can use that. It has antifungal. I'm not sure about the Nizoral cream. I haven't used that. But yeah, if it's antifungal and you're trying to attack, fungal properties, yeast type properties, go ahead, be my guest. If I had some laying around that was, say, given to me by my doctor for something or whatever the case may be, prime example is like the foot cream. For when you have the athlete's foot and things like that. That's what I've used and it works. Yet again, I'm not your vet, so I would take that up with them, but that's what I've used and that's worked. So, all right, last question. They said, Yolanda Garcia says, I went to your website. What am I getting? I know the microscope is separate, and they're talking about the canine semen evaluation kit. So, for the canine and semen evaluation kit, like I said in a prior question, you buy that, you get the microscope. They're two separate things. You get them together though, and you're up and running. You do got to watch either the videos or the instructional pamphlet that comes with it. So obviously you can learn how to do semen evaluations, but once you've done that, hey, you're up and running. You can do them as a business, charge people, do them for yourself, check the sperm counts on your dogs, whatever the case may be. You're up and running. So those are the two things you need, and that's literally it. The microscope comes with the slides and everything like that. So anyway, guys, I'm going to keep this episode short. I'm going to shoot probably a second one real quick. So make sure you guys, check in for the second part of this or the next episode of, Q&As. And if you find this information helpful, if you find it useful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hope this information was helpful. See you guys on the next episode of Breeders Hacks.